Hello, and welcome to this week's Time Out. You know, from a very early age, we learned that there's a battle that rages between good and evil. We grew up on Superman, Batman, Mighty Mouse, and Underdog. There was always Polly Purebred. You remember how she was always somehow tied up at the top of a building somewhere, and Underdog, with his super duper hearing, would hear her crying out from him, and all of a sudden he would come to her rescue, going through all types of obstacles. We'd finally get to her. You see, we learned from a very early age that there's a battle that rages between good and evil. One day I was thinking about all this, and I realized that the greatest robber of all time was Jesus. Now, before you go off the deep end on that, because I said that, listen to me. One day Jesus was casting a demon out of a man that was blind and mute. And the Pharisees came to him and they said to him, "You're casting out that demon by the power of Satan." Jesus basically told them that that is ludicrous. And then he went on to tell them this. He said, "How can anyone enter a strong man's house and carry off his possessions unless he first ties up the strong man? Then he can rob his house." You see, Jesus was saying that he entered Satan's kingdom, his house. He bound Satan and then was able to take his possessions. That's going to be the foundation of our time out for the next few weeks. Jesus taking the spoils of Satan. Well, the spoil I want to speak about today is the spoil of despair. Despair is that absolute sense of hopelessness when you know that nothing can be done. It's when the doctors say there's no hope. It's what you feel in your heart. If someone comes to you, someone you love or you've been married to, your mate comes and says, "Listen, I'm leaving. I found someone new." There is a million different reasons for despair. And people find those reasons, and despair gets so bad sometimes that people even take their own life because of it. But I want to tell you that one day, Jesus broke into Satan's house. He penetrated his arsenal, and he stole despair. And he replaced that despair with hope. You see, hope is that feeling of expectation. And when our hope is in Jesus, hope never fails. And hope never fails because we are never without Jesus. And when we are never without Jesus, we are never without hope. So this week, think about those things. Think about the things that Jesus took possession of when he broke into Satan's arsenal and how he's given you the victory.